one vibe. Truth talk, real life. Hey, Lady G by my side. She the sugar, sweet laugh in the pain. Turn a hard week story to a joke on the train. She the honey, slow drip on the wound. Sticky little mantra, have you healing by noon. She the spice, hot take, eyes wide. Say the thing you thinking, but you keep it inside. Then G slide in with the charts and the bags. Turn I'm so lost to a 5-year plan. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Say it how we live it, let it all be seen. Laugh till we cry, then we wipe that cheek. You are not alone when you ride with we. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Turn the wild me into watch me. Every scar, every bill, every late night fight. We gon' turn that mess into your spotlight. We talk love when it's cute, when it's cruel. How you held down work while he played the fool. We talk money, side gig, main job. How to break that I'm broke from your daily talk. We talk mama wounds, church hurt, old fears. Turn a quiet car ride to a chorus of cheers. Scroll, tap, play, but you stay for the truth. Every joke got roots growing up under you. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Say it how we live it, let it all be seen. Laugh till we cry, then we wipe that cheek. You are not alone when you ride with we. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Turn the wild me into watch me. Every scar, every bill, every late night fight. We gon' turn that mess into your spotlight. Seen, heard, put your hand in the air, yeah. Put your fears in the chair, real talk, we ain't here just nice. We here for your bag, for your heart, for your life. With Lady G. Say it how we live it, let it all be seen. Laugh till we cry, then we wipe that cheek. You are not alone when you ride with we. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G.
Welcome back to Sugar, Honey, and Spice with your girl. It's your girl, Lady G, and I am here with my favorite people. We got Miss Amber C over there.
Hey.
We got Miss Niecy.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hey. And then we have none other than the Miss Blessing. There you
Hey there,
go.
hi there, ho there.
Woo-hoo. Listen, today's episode, this one might make some people uncomfortable, especially us, okay? Because we're totally going to be talking about what? Self-sabotage. Why do we need to talk about this topic? Because deep down, we already know that this is a topic that so many need to hear. So seriously, have you ever prayed for something, asked God for it, cried about it, and then when it started getting close, you started acting strange? I wonder, can anyone relate? Can anyone relate about that?
I think everyone can relate about that.
I think the world can relate to it.
To an extent, absolutely.
I'm over here on this thing. I'm trying to avoid eye contact with you as you asking it, but I gotta look.
I mean, because it comes down to what? Procrastinating, overthinking, and questioning ourselves for no apparent reason. So I want to say, let's start out like this. Because sometimes I believe, and you guys chime in and let me know your thoughts. We sometimes will blame the enemy. We'll blame timing. We'll blame other people when really we might be the one getting in our own way. So I want to
I
get
don't
your
care what you say. I'm so sorry. It be all of those things' fault. Because
really.
you over here trying to, it be their fault too. Sometimes it's us, but sometimes it's their fault too. Don't do that to me. Not too much now.
It is. I agree.
It just be everybody.
Look here, let
everything.
me tell you, because
Love is
like
everything,
it's
man.
not my fault that I wasn't born in 1902. Well, that's a little too far
It
back.
ain't my
It's
fault.
not my fault that I wasn't born in 1960 when all you had to know, because I don't know if women had rights then.
No.
Whatever year it was, maybe like 1908, no,
No.
1975, 74, 1970. It's not my fault that I wasn't born in 1970 so I could get a job right when I could get my working papers and I could start, saving so that I could have a house. Because back then, in order for you to have a house, all you had to do was have a job. You just had to
Wow.
have a job, and
Mhm.
and that was it. And now you got to have a job, a second job. You got to have an illegal
Word.
job. You need a roommate. You need to go on the corner with Amber. It's a couple of things you got to do in order to potentially be able to even afford a home.
Mm.
So I'm like, and they were like, and the cost of the homes are going up. However, your income
You are
will
right.
not match the rate of inflation.
Yeah.
You right.
So now, while there's probably some validity to what you said, but my trauma was trauma, and I was like, it's sometimes it be those things. If I was born in 1902 and I had a little bit of different luck, I would have my house.
No, and pay $2 for your mortgage.
Yeah.
Yo, let me
But at
tell
what cost?
you.
Oh, wow. So I want to talk about also what is self-sabotage. So, okay, let's define it in real life terms.
We should
Because
have got Webster Dictionary.
what'd you say? Get the
We should have
dictionary?
got Webster Dictionary so we actually can have it
I
right
thought
here.
she said the obituary. I said that escalated quickly.
Oh my!
I mean, that can be the ending result of a form of sabotage if you really
That's
want to take it there.
that's right. That's right. Oh,
Just
yeah.
saying.
Wow. Yes.
Just
Wow.
saying.
Wow. Wow.
Okay,
You
So
see
I'm
why I thought that's what she said? I was like, that escalate. I was like, you chose the most extreme form of sabotage. I'm sorry. Was that self-sabotage?
wow.
No. No.
Wow. So listen, so self-sabotage is when your actions don't line up with what you say you want. When they don't, your
Okay.
actions don't line up with what you say you want. So, like you're praying for peace, but then you're entertaining chaos.
Hmm.
What does that look like? Where are you? Do you realize that you're self-sabotaging?
I think that's the biggest question in all of this.
Yeah.
Are you aware of said self sabotage? Because there's definitely been times that I was unknowingly self sabotaging because I just simply wasn't paying enough attention and wasn't really aware. And once I became aware, okay, well, yeah, this is not where I need to be. My body's been telling me, my heart's been telling me, my mind has been telling me, but I just stayed around people, circumstances, situations that were not in alignment with me morally speaking, spiritually speaking, financially speaking, health wise, however you want to look at it. Just if it's
Yeah.
not my assignment, which a dear friend of mine explained, he said everything is not your assignment. So removing yourself when you realize that is, undoing the self sabotage. But then you have to become self aware enough to not put yourself in those same situations repeatedly because then
Yeah.
the sabotage just goes.
On and on and on.
And also, honestly, in recognizing some of the areas where I needed to improve and remove myself from spaces that weren't, that just weren't for me, I
Mm-hmm.
became a better person. Because why am I in spaces where I'm ignoring the fact these people really don't like me? Well, then I don't need to be here because now I'm lashing out at them and everybody else. For what? It starts with me first. I need to remove
It
myself,
does.
pay attention, and then I became a better person.
You
That's
know
So,
part of
what?
healing.
There's a few things I wanted to attack right there, what you said, Amber, but
oh Lord.
I but before I go there,
It's
that
healing.
kind of helped go into the next question, next statement, where I was going to say that sometimes we are praying for healing, but staying attached to things that are hurting us.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And um, while you were speaking,
Mm-hmm.
while you were saying how we stay attached to people that we probably should not be no longer around, do you really think that people are aware that they're self-sabotaging when they're because we can go deep into this. It is mental health
Yes.
awareness month, but do you think, I mean, do they know that, you know, I remember, I remember years ago, a statement being made. And it was how someone was treating me, but because I love them, I continued coming back. And you know what they say? You keep coming back for more,
Mm.
coming back for more. But in reality, was there self-sabotaging being done by me continuing to keep going back, to keep being treated the way you shouldn't be treated?
Yes.
Going back
You
to
just
something
weren't
that's
aware.
familiar.
Yeah. You weren't aware that you were self-sabotaging. But I think that's the issue, is a lot of times we just aren't aware until after the fact, when we were hit in the face with a ton of bricks and it's like, oh crap,
Yeah.
this never did feel good. I always left. If I go to this party or this event, every time I do, I leave and still feel empty. Every time I leave this group of people, I still feel empty. I feel numb. I feel like nothing has elevated me. So it's like, and also, I think of a time that actually for some years I had a friend who would frequently say, "Don't self-sabotage," until I posed the question, "Tell me one thing I've messed up that would have otherwise been good for me." And she
Mm.
had no response. That told me then I was learning the lesson. Not saying it won't happen again, but the moment I'm aware, no, I have to do better. I can't even blame anything or any. I can't blame everything and everyone around. I needed to make myself aware of the harm I was causing by simply occupying spaces that were never meant for me.
Wow.
That's tea. That's
Is
tea.
it?
Get in on that,
I
DC.
thought it
Get
was
in
just
on
a
that.
little water. Nom.
She like more. Yes. Tea,
Come
honey.
tell my mama. Hold on, let me see. Tell my mom.
Oh my God.
They said they like what I had to say.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they like what I said.
Tell Shirley.
Okay. She said, uh-huh.
You
Anyhow.
know, when
It's like
there's
mom's.
so many different ways that we can attack this.
It
Mm-hmm.
is.
You know, I believe another part of self-sabotaging, which I'm very clear it is when we pray for opportunities, but on the other hand, talk ourselves out of those opportunities. Like we'll pray for the opportunity, we'll pray, we want this to happen, but then we're talking ourselves out of every one that we speak. That is self-sabotaging.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so easy? Like, is it the self-esteem? Is it we just don't believe we deserve better? Is it, come tell me what somebody that is listening to this episode who is battling self-sabotage, what would you say to them when they know they want more, but they keep talking themselves out of it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Do you hear yourself?
No, that's something that you have to think on. I don't know. For what I would give, like Amber says, it starts with nobody else but you. And it starts from the inside out. It don't matter who's around you. And it's all about alignment. You'll know the alignment when you see it. And it's nothing that no one else can say and or do. And it's part of discernment too, and part of prayer and all that type stuff. But it just starts with you at the end of the day. Sometimes you have to, they say, in order to, isolation is elevation. Doesn't mean isolation is loneliness and all that. People take it that far. No, isolation is more so your alignment and your elevation. You will see things differently. It's kind of like people that say, you know, open up your third eye and open up different parts where you can see. This basically is discernment. That's basically what it is. So you'll see a lot of things that will come in alignment in your path, and your path is already set for you. Some people are scared to walk it because they can't stay consistent on the path because something pulls them off of it. That's self-sabotage. You want to go this way, but what you're being called to, that elevation is, you don't want to take that way because you're probably scared or nervous. Some people fear success. Some people fear because it comes with a lot. It comes with unknown. And success don't mean having a lot of money, having a 6-figure job. Success can come in many different ways depending on how you see it and what aligns to you. So to me, to those people, and to myself, because I'm in therapy and I'm still learning about it as well, it really just starts with you. There's no other way around it. It's you. Hello? And sometimes you have to just sit with you for a moment and really figure out it. You know, you can have conversations with people and all that type stuff, have therapy and all that. It helps, you know, prayer and all that, but you have to really sit down, take a day or two, take a month or two, and really figure it out. And sometimes you have to talk to yourself, talk to that inner person. Mine's, you know, if I say Sasha Fierce, no, I'm not bipolar or anything, but even if you are, there's nothing wrong with it. That's you talking to you. It's me versus me. You versus you.
Yep.
That's what I think. So
I love it.
That was good.
And because she said that, I will admit, a lot of times anything that I have self-sabotage did stem from self-hatred. I have not always loved myself. I have struggled with trusting myself. I have not always been kind to myself. Therefore, I've been none of those things to others as well. So it really, to me, does start within. And again, I'm going to miss the mark some more, but I'm prayerful that I'll be aware of it sooner than later before it really hurts or anything. Or more importantly, before I hurt anyone else.
I mean, we all fall short of, as they say, the glory. So you're no different than nobody else. I'm no different than you. You know, Bless and the lady just no different from nobody else who's going to watch this video. So it's bound to happen. That's just part of life. You know, what they call them, backsliders. Yeah, I stay backsliding, okay? But that's okay because you take 2 steps forward or 2 additional steps forward once you do backslide, because you're coming into alignment, something that you fear. And once you step into it, I think all that goes away. I think that's where success come in at. And you see it differently. I guess I experienced it in a way that when I explained it to my therapist, it's something that when you step into whatever that light is, and whatever your light is, not everybody's light or what the light should be on you, whatever that calling that's on your life to be whatever, do whatever, be successful for whatever alignment and whatever, when you start to elevate, nothing even matters. Like you're elevating off of earth. That's when you get that's that aha moment. You see it up there. And once you see it, once you come back down to earth, it's like a force to be reckoned with. Sabotage go out the door. You know, not loving yourself go out the door. You see success in anything in a different way. And you don't allow anything to dictate that or hurt that. And almost like your discernment becomes much more stronger. You know, if you in church, you know, even heavy or not, you know, your prayer becomes a little bit more different. You walk a little bit more different. You understand and communicate things more differently. And I think doors in that path opens up in a different light too. But it only you can see it though. Like I can't see your light, Amber, even though I'm saying I can see it, you know, because I can see through you. But your light,
Why? Because I'm lying.
that part, that light that's for you, I can't see it. You know, I know that you're a beautiful person on the outside and inside.
You
and
so
I know
bright.
that you had a heart, But that light and that elevation, I can't see that. Only you can. That's kind of like, when you people have a prayer room, right? There's a movie called The Prayer Room. Your room is strictly where that's only you can see that. Only you have your conversation. I can't see that. I can't feel that. That's just your space. That's kind of what that light is. And I don't think a lot of people have experienced that in life yet because we in fight and flight mode. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of self-sabotage as well. So I land my plane right there.
So Niecy gonna casually explain self-enlightenment. And she's like, only a few people have attained nirvana and inner peace. Therefore, the world remains in chaos till today. Like, you just described enlightenment casually and then was like, yeah, I
And I'm trying to
can't.
hold it. I'm trying to hold it.
I can't. That's what you described.
Oh Lord.
Okay, I've been missing in action, so I'll allow you to get me. Go ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to get you. I'm just talking about, what you seeing, what you saying, what you talking about. I ain't talking about nothing. Sorry.
You know what though? Real quick, something about it has to be spoken about. It's not comfortable. Like
Yeah.
you're not supposed to always be comfortable. Growth isn't comfortable. So when you're growing out of self-sabotagery, that ain't comfortable. You're not guaranteed a good experience. You're not guaranteed a great outcome either, but you got to do the work and grow. It's worth it.
There's a lot to be dissected there. You guys put out so much. I was trying to keep it all keep it all in my head. But I'm reminded of the scripture, James 1:8, that says
I told y'all
that
she going to heaven.
double-minded man is unstable in
Unstable.
his ways.
Mhm.
That scripture, uh, you think would keep us on track, right? But what do you say to the person who Niecy speaks to and they say, well, I know that I want to do better, but when I do take 2 steps forward, I take 10 steps backwards and I'm always left behind. Speak to that person right now. Speak, anybody.
Let
Speak.
them use you.
Why she leaning her head back like she was
That makes it more real. That makes,
Oh,
if I just look at you and
I
say,
think she was in the
let
spirit.
them use
I think
you.
she was
No,
like, I think if we were in public, like we would have to catch her because we would have fell over. We'd have to cover her with the cloth. She would have been on the ground.
now
y'all was
blessing.
saying,
What if we all did that at the same time? Like, hold on.
Well,
let you. If I say let them use you, it don't hit the same as let them use you. You know, you got to give it that for Jesus. You got to be really in there for the Lord with that thing. Go on and let them guide your way. You
with
better
that
put on some
thing,
order my steps.
let go and
Ask the
let
Lord to order
God.
your steps. Ask the Lord
Let
to write
him
on your
guide
tongue, let your
me.
words edify. Ask the Lord for the strength that you need to stop self-sabotaging. Ask the Lord for guidance towards what's in alignment with his direction and guidance over your life. Ask the Lord his will. You're not going to like the answers all the time. You are not going to be comfortable all the time. You won't even feel blessed all the time, but you are.
Well, I have a question. So, what about those people, and not to cut you off or anything like that, because I'm going to forget if I don't say it out loud. So, what about the people who, I keep saying who, Alec, um, who doesn't have a strong foundation within church or faith, and they're just living? What do you say to those people without mentioning, hey, step into church, step into the Bible, step into faith? We already know, culturally within the Black community, we base everything around church because the church is our faith and our hope and our steadfast and everything. But some people don't believe in that. And, we've got to speak
Yeah.
to the masses. You know what I'm saying? So what do you say to those folks on the opposite side?
Well, not me. Go on, Lady G. You got
I thought she was just going to say, let him use you. I thought she was
wait,
still going to say, let him use you.
yeah, well, let me make sure you're not talking. She ain't talking to me. Let me check
No,
my phone. Hold on.
I don't believe she just
Okay,
turned
now she
around
ain't
like it
talking to
was
me,
a
Lady G. You got it.
ghost.
You got it.
She most certainly talking to you.
Oh, I
Lady,
She
am
was
not.
talking to you. She paused what you were saying so she could talk to you.
Lady G got a
Oh, okay.
All right, let me jump in. And everyone that knows me, it would be hard for me to say anything other than lead them to Christ. Okay. But no, Niecy, you're absolutely right. There are
Mhm.
people that are not out here. They don't want to hear about God. They don't want to read the scriptures. They don't want to be in anybody's church house. But the scriptures is the scriptures. And that's what I will always stand on. So what I would do is I would share with them the reality of having Christ in their life that would help them in this situation. Because as I went back to that scripture, a double-minded man is as unstable in all his ways. That's like I'd say to them, okay, let's take the scripture out. Let's talk about what it really means. It means that we are praying for one thing, but we're moving in the opposite direction and we expect peace about it. Um, I cannot but bring God into it. I cannot but say that if He wants me to go left, I promise you, if I go right, there is no peace. I promise you that He will not let that thing sit well with my spirit. But if Lady G decides to continue to go right, that is a decision that Lady G is making, self sabotaging and all. It's a decision that I'm making because I can't lead them no other way but to, because I mean, if they continue to walk in flesh, which we do, even knowing God, even knowing
Mhm.
we walk in flesh, I mean, more times than we should. However, them walking in flesh without the love of Christ, the scriptures, getting under the house, they're going to have a bigger struggle. You cannot do this life alone. That is when people come into salvation and think, oh, life is going to be great. There's not going to be no self sabotaging. You know, everything's going, every door is going to be opened, and every door that needs to be shut is going to be shut. No, the devil is on your track even the more. But with God, with Christ, you can withstand. You can, let me tell y'all something. If it was not for Christ, somebody in the white jackets would have came for Lady G a long time ago. There
Oh
would
my
not be
God, we could have
no
had tea time.
we
Woo!
Barbara, this
been
is
knocking
Shirley.
out
We're going to see
Get
Lady
Shirley
G. Wear
and
your
Barbara
white,
on the
sis.
phone.
We gonna
Not
all wear.
Amber.
We're gonna wear white.
Amber. Not Barbara and Shirley together on the phone
We
doing a
had.
three-way.
We all wear white when we go to visit Lady G, so we can blend. Well, I can't wear white because I'll blend into the wall. So I'll wear something a little vanilla, maybe
Maybe they could
yellow.
do it reverse for
Oh,
you to look like a ninja.
Thank you. Oh God, if I stand real still, will y'all think I'm a hoe?
well, it's kind of crazy because you got on
I think you're
right
just
now,
floating
Amber.
clothes.
Can you see me? Y'all can
Oh
see
my
me.
God.
I cannot, if I was to meet someone, I cannot talk to them and guide them in any other way but to the scriptures. Of course, I won't sit there and slam it down their throat because nobody's going to receive it doing it that way. But I would hope that I could be able to give my experience, share some of my testimonies, because I do believe that even in self sabotaging, God would allow us to go through these things so that we can be a testimony to somebody else, so that we can help somebody else. Um, we can all come up with ways that we have self sabotage. And I'm sure before this episode is done, we would have mentioned a good amount. But when talking to people and those that are going to be listening to this episode, I think we need to sit in our, old folks used to say, in our own tent doors. And I'm a big believer in writing things down because I believe if not only if you write it down, you make the vision plain, but put your thoughts on paper. How do you feel? What are those goals that you want to meet? What is it going to take to meet those goals? What are you doing to self sabotage from meeting those goals? If you want to, I'm just going to throw something out. You want a good paying job. Maybe you got to stop smoking weed because you might not be able to pass that drug test when you
Mhm.
go and get interviewed for that job. You want a home. Well, stop self-sabotaging and spending every paycheck that you receive. You want love. Well, then stop spewing hate. There's so
Mhm.
many different things. It's do the opposite of what you're doing if you are self-sabotaging. Believe in yourself. Believe that you deserve what it is that you're going for. Believe that there's more in store and you just have to believe it. Um, I think a lot of people know that they deserve better and just don't. Let me tell you, we are in mental health. I said it earlier, Mental Health Awareness Month, and it breaks my heart for the women that we have lost in the past month due to violence by
Mm.
their significant others. Breaks my heart. I have never been in a relationship that has been abusive, neither physically or mentally. So I don't know what it is to be in their shoes. But what I would say is to the women that are listening today, don't self sabotage yourself. You deserve more. You deserve to be loved. I used to hear something. I would hear women say that they stayed because of the children. I don't think that that's good enough reason to stay. But again, I've never been in that situation. But I do wish that we would love ourselves more so that we would say, no, I love myself too much. I love my children too much to stay in this situation. Does anybody want to add something to that?
I
I
tell
will
you,
say,
I'm just
oh, go ahead.
go
I was
ahead,
just going to
Casper.
piggyback off of you saying believing in yourself. It made me think of something I would have added earlier when Niecy posed the question about someone not being spiritually connected and rooted in the word. You can still have faith in yourself,
That's right.
period.
Yeah.
Find your faith within, even if it's just in yourself. Faith in
Because if you
oneself.
don't believe in yourself, who
Yeah,
will?
exactly. Faith in oneself is that's valid and that counts too. So if you don't believe, believe in you. Ooh, bars. Y'all might drop an album.
I
If
will
you don't
go.
believe, believe.
I will go a step
Yes,
further and
I
even do
agree.
it in the reverse of what you just said. And I'll repeat what I said. If you don't believe in yourself, why are you expecting others to believe in you?
Yeah.
If God has spoken something unto you, I say this all the time, stop expecting other people to understand. It was not a conference call. He told you. He expected you to believe it. He said, faith is the substance of things hoped for
Oh,
and
for
the evidence of things not seen.
not seen.
So many people self sabotage because one, they don't believe they deserve it. One, they got all these things going on in their head. What's this one going to think? What's that one going to think? What they going to say? Who cares? We are too people driven to be caring what people say. And that is how a good majority of people self sabotage. Blessing, get on in there. You had something you wanted to add.
Oh, I feel like you live in my inner dialogue a little bit. Um, I'm like, this is my inner dialogue. So I'm gonna challenge a couple of things. So when
Ooh,
Niecy's question is, if someone does not believe in God, how do you teach them these things? The thing about it is, whether or not you believe in God, even though you should, whether or not you believe in God, his principles, because he made this earth, his principles guide everything, whether you want to believe it or not. So you talk about, I mean, there are parables in the Bible, but there are principles that are embedded within the Bible. So a lot of multimillionaires right? They do so well in this world. And it's not that they believe in God, but you know what they do? They keep they keep certain principles of giving. So you notice like a lot of people, they're charity, doing this, I contribute to this, I donate to that. So you believe in God or not, a lot of biblical principles have been adopted in earthly manners.
Mhm.
And like don't believe in him, but in order for you to be successful, you're gonna have to adopt those principles. So like I was saying, people do really well in this world. A lot of times they give, and giving is important. You were talking before about, oh, even if you don't believe in God, believe in yourself, right? But still, I'll take that a step further. Believe in yourself. You're supposed to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So that's still a biblical principle. No matter how you try to get away from it, it's a biblical principle. Lady G is talking about a double-minded man. What was the exact phrasing? A double-minded man
Mind is unstable in all his ways. Or
is
what
unstable in all his ways, right?
it means is unstable in all his ways.
You said a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways, correct? Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
whether or not you believe in God, if I say that I want to build this, I don't know, I want to build this, I want this house, whatever the case may be, I'm physically building it. And I choose to take the brick and take the brick and I put the cement and I build it up. And then tomorrow, well, not even tomorrow, before it sets, I'm like, I want to, because double-minded means you're both sides. So now, then I start pulling the bricks off. Then I put the bricks on and I pull the bricks off. What have I accomplished? I've moved a lot. I probably have burned some calories, but what have I accomplished? So no matter how you try to get away from biblical principles, I wish you the best of luck. They still apply to real life, right? So I want to respond to that. And then you fall to the sum of your habits.
Mhm.
You fall to the sum of your habits. No matter what it is, people are like, oh, I don't really have any habits, or I don't have a routine. You have a routine. Whether or not you plan to have a routine, whether or not you meant to have one, whether or not this routine is what you wanted, you have a routine.
Thanks.
You
Thanks.
leave work, you drive home, you commute home, you whatever the case may be, you do about 95% of things on autopilot. It's just how we're made, how we're formulated. You get in the shower, when you get in the shower, how do you shower? The same way. If you were to do it it's you do things the same. You're so built of the way I open my water, when you go into the store, what I pick, all of those things. And companies are rich because they take the time to understand what people's habits are. You play these video games, you're like, oh, why do they have like all these commercials in them and stuff like that? Because they want to track your habits. Why do I get cash back from these companies? They want to track your shopping habits. There's value within. So whether or not you're intentional about it or not, something is being built. But what do you want to be built? You have to even be aware of what you want for you to go somewhere. So I can do anything. I can drive anything. I can move as far as I want. I could do it. But if I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what it looks like. If I don't put a destination on my GPS, am I gonna keep driving till I run out of gas? Or am I just keep like what are you doing? All of those things matter. So you fall to the sum of your habits. So whether or not
Mhm.
you want to believe it, start with something small. Pick one thing. Pick one thing. The thing about it is we wake up and the problem is tomorrow I want to be a new person. I want to be this idealized version of myself actually by 3 p.m. I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this, I want to be that. And you think, and sometimes self-sabotage is being too hard on yourself. Not taking the
Yep.
time to give yourself grace or understand yourself, right? So when you learn to properly love yourself, and it's something that you may even struggle with. When you learn to properly love yourself, you have to first identify what it is that you need. What do I need to feel loved? What do I need to feel safe? What do I need to be productive? What do I need for my goals? Right? I want to do this. I want to run this marathon, but you never give yourself, like, you don't drink enough water. You don't have the right nutrition. You run this marathon, no water, you're gonna be on that ground, you're gonna be passed out. Yeah, you go ahead. What's your goal? So you need to understand where you're going so you can understand the building blocks to get you there. And that's very important. What I do want to do in this as well is give grace to those who are neurodivergent, because
Yes.
sometimes we forget.
Okay.
And we all try to do, even if you're not neurodivergent, but we all try to do things, like everybody is built differently, the way we learn, like the pace at which we process things and stuff like that. The experiences we've all had are different. The things that build us and make us, the things that Niecy has seen and Amber and C and Lady G have seen are all, and I have seen are also different. That in a room and in a space, we could be in the same room, but the things that we're going to observe and walk away with are different.
Yep.
We're gonna
Yeah.
we can all share, we can all watch the same show, but what we pick up, what we recall, they're all going to be different. It's going to affect us all differently, and it's through the prisms and the lenses of the life that we've lived, right? So some things are intrinsic, family. Some things you experience as you go out in the world, you learn more, you begin to broaden your horizon, you begin to broaden your mind, you begin to understand things. That's how you begin to learn principles and become this better, more refined yourself. And sometimes you're in a phase where nothing feels right, but just because nothing feels right, man, this is why it's important to be in tune with God, because things may not feel right in that moment, and it could just be something as simple as something that is burning being worked out of you. But because it's like before you were saying, I think it was Amber that was saying, or I'm so sorry, I'm just listening to all y'all, but yeah, like growth is not easy, it's not comfortable, and that's true
Mhm.
because it's forming you into something that you've never been.
Mhm.
And the human brain is meant to protect us. You're somewhere you haven't been before. You feel unfamiliar. You feel unsafe. You're nervous. It sets off your flight and flight. You're trying to get back to what you can understand, what you can process. I need to be able to foreshadow. But that's why faith comes. We walk by faith and not by sight. Because if you need to be familiar with what you're seeing, you can't get there. Because you're gonna always turn to, I see this. I know what this looks like. I can explain this is, yes, this feels right, but something that's unfamiliar, you don't know what it is, you're gonna be hesitant. Imagine you go to a country and you see all purple people. I'm gonna
Wow.
start singing Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination, but you
I
know,
love you.
mm,
You love
Why you can't sing it? Because Barney was something else.
family with a great big hug
Can't
and a kiss from
kiss
me
from
to
me
you.
to
Mwah. Won't you say
say
you
you
love
love me too.
me too? And even that song regulates you differently. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood song, the song from Arthur, and I Say Hey. Also, those shows were formatted differently to engage with our minds different. The stimulation was lower, right?
Mm.
So there's things that are going on around, even being aware of how television is made to be more stimulating to the brain, to make you crave
Mhm.
dopamine more. All of these things affect you. And like, you got to give yourself a lot of grace. Yes, you have to be responsible. Yes, you have to have good components and habits and be aware and conscientious. But in every situation, the measure of grace that we just have to give ourselves, the way that we ask God for grace, like, God, please give me grace. Sometimes you really need to just give that grace to yourself. That's all it is. But there's a lot to this topic. That's why I've been
Mhm.
silent. I'm like, look, I'm with you every single step of the way. This is, so sometimes self-sabotage is doing the wrong thing. Sometimes self-sabotage is not loving yourself right. And sometimes self-sabotage is not even understanding you need to stop and pause. All of these things matter.
You actually just stepped into what my question was going to be. So you might have just given the answers. And if there's something else that anyone wants to throw out there, I wanted those listeners that are listening to know what does self-sabotage actually look like? Because when we started speaking, we were throwing things out there, but there's so many different things that could be self-sabotaging. We can't cover them all in this episode, but somebody listening might say, "Oh, this ain't got self-sabotage ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't
Yes, it
self-sabotage."
does. Yes, you are.
The
Yeah.
way I self-sabotage trying to get into this dress for
Mm.
something I'm going to next month, but I ate a whole pot of neck bones for dinner. So there's that.
Hey.
Self-sabotage is somebody having high cholesterol and eating a whole pot of neck bones for dinner.
The whole
There's that. There's that.
Sometimes people like to make things things are spiritual and of a higher nature as well. But sometimes I feel like people like to get so highfalutin with stuff that they forget it's in how you do anything is how you do everything. And it's in
Mm-hmm.
your little habits that you're building that are determining who you're going to be. I'm like, life is not this thing that you're going to arrive. So I try to remind myself of that. Life is not this thing that's going to arrive. You're living it right now. This is it. This is it. What you're
This
in right now is this moment is all you are promised. You are guaranteed nothing more. Matter of fact, this is
Correct.
even borrowed time. It's all by the grace of God and the fact that, He breathed the breath of life into us. But
Amen.
I like this. I don't know if I heard it somewhere or if I heard something and I morphed it into my own. If somebody heard somebody say this before, it's a lie. I made it up. Life is a series of moments in a series of rooms with a series of people. That's all life is.
Is.
Life is nothing else. Life is just a series of moments in a series of rooms in a series of with a series of people. That
Mm-hmm.
is all that life is. And the heavy on the people. I was talking to my friend this week, last week, and I said to her, I said, God created the heavens and the earth. He made every single thing, and then he made man. He made sure that we had everything that we needed. And then after he made us, he was like, oh yeah, you can have the whole world, but that's not even enough. It is not good for man to be alone. He didn't say it's not good for man to have this, not have that. He didn't even say, like, he didn't make anything else. And I made him a helpmate. So he didn't even say it's not even good for man to be alone just so that, we could be here and fighting with each other or so. No, like, you each need somebody to help you. And then when Christ came back, he said, love your neighbor as you love yourself, which to me just reiterates that and reinforces it. We feel like we make things so complicated when life is really about this moment, this podcast. Life is about us doing this in real life and being together. Life is really about how all life is what makes your life, how people interact with each other. I go to work. What makes your job is a building. Like, yes, please pay me good money. If you're a good person, you're going to pay me, right? Fine, fine. Let's say we all get paid good money. But money only motivates you up until a certain point.
True.
People will leave a job that pays a lot of money for something. What? I need a peace of mind. I wanted to feel better, my mental health. And I was going to say, I don't see how money could pay for mental health, but I know that like Prozac does a good job. But that is to address something underlying. But no, but beyond that, it's what is life? Like, really, what makes life good?
What is
If
life?
you have money, you're able to take care of the people that you love and be with the people you love. And then we all aspire for vacation so we could be each other. Even people who have a job that they're obsessed with because they have a purpose. Even if you don't like the vacation, you enjoy having a purpose. Have a purpose, whatever your purpose is, you impact somebody. I don't care at the end of the day. You are impacting, you're doing something. We are each other's purpose in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And if you let anything make you lose sight of that, you choose anything over each other, you have failed God. You have failed your purpose. Because God said it is not good for man to be alone, and I made him a helpmate. And love each other as you love yourself. So anyway, this is what I think about in my spare time.
Wow.
Well, as she spoke on all the
You said
money,
a mouthful, okay?
you got all the money to spend, but you don't have anyone to love. You don't have anyone that loves you that you love to spend it with, spend it on,
How to
your time
love.
with.
If
So
you are
life
in
to
that
me should be
situation, I
love.
will put my GoFundMe and Cash App in this thing beneath above. It's gonna be somewhere.
Oh my
So if
God.
you have money but you have no one, I am here to support your dollars.
Yeah. So let's go there.
You funny, man.
Let's go there.
Okay.
So let's talk about helpmates. God giving you a helpmate. Um, I do believe that when God gives you someone, he is full aware of who Blessing is, who Niecy is, who Amber is, right? So who he gives you will be well equipped to handle you. That is my belief. The self-sabotaging comes where you make every way possible for that thing not to happen.
Mm.
You make everything possible for you guys not to connect. You make everything possible to just say, this is not God. This comes down to the root of what is going on within.
Mm.
I believe that a lot of people let their past hinder their future. We are new creatures. Old things are passed away, behold, all things become new. That's the same thing I think that should be a part of life. I have always been one that whatever hurdles I meet, I let that hurdle help me to overcome the next one. I'm not going to repeat. I'm not a repeater like that. Now, can I procrastinate? Can I self-sabotage? Absolutely. Absolutely. We were talking about what self-sabotage looks like. You heard Blessing, you heard Amber C, you've even heard Niecy. For someone listening to this, it can mean anything that has to pertain to you. It could be that suddenly everything becomes important except for the thing that you actually need to do. For the students that might even listen to this, if you're supposed to be studying for a test, why are you out at a party? That's self-sabotaging. If you in the house deep cleaning and you need to be answering an email, why are you in the kitchen and not at the computer? That's self-sabotaging. It could be anything. If you are an overthinker, and oh, am I an overthinker? That is my downfall. I am an overthinker. And I believe that I self-sabotage myself many times because I am an overthinker. But you know what I have to do is stay prayed up. And I have my 3-day rule. If I'm going to overthink something, I got 3 days to get up from that thing and get a reality check of where I lie in that situation. I do not believe that we will be able to correct our action unless we take accountability and see for ourselves. I am not a believer that it takes somebody else to say, Blessing, you know what's wrong with you? And da 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 da. Amber, you know what's wrong with you? I do believe we can see it for ourselves. Now, maybe we might need somebody because we do have blind spots.
Yep.
Maybe we would do Amber on a few episodes, I think, or maybe the last episode she shared. She had a good friend or good friends share something with her. It was a blind spot for her. She didn't see that when she said something that it was interpreted this way.
I was on episode 1, guys. Go and check it out. Like and subscribe our channel. Thank you.
She come in with the slightest
Right here.
voice.
Subscribe.
But I mean, it's the actuality. So what if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if they don't like me? So what? You know, someone asked me many, many years ago, Lady G, why don't you, well, they didn't call me Lady G back then, but Jenny, why did you not care about what people say? Because they don't pay my bills? Why?
That's facts.
Hey.
I just feel like even if they paid my bills, I wouldn't care, but carry on. I'm like, something wrong with me because I would like to care.
If
but I
God
could not.
already opened the door, why would you not walk through it? Why would you make every excuse? Why would you come up under everything under the sun? Why would you self-sabotage?
Some people don't have an answer. Some people really don't have an answer.
All I could hear as she's saying this, you better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot.
Okay,
Now
Eminem.
get your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Palms sweaty. Knees weak. Oh my
Go off.
gosh.
So with that said, you know, the crazy
yourself in the
sometimes
music.
the fear doesn't look dramatic. It just doesn't look dramatic all the time. Fear looks like hesitation. So whoever is listening to this episode, stop hesitating. Stop hesitating.
Something I've heard that makes sense is do it scared. Oh, I'm terrified. Okay.
It's
Do it
scared.
scared.
Do it scared.
It's not always easy to do.
That
I don't
sounds
know.
like famous last words.
But
That dude.
it's also kind of like the whole concept of fear not being real. Fear is just a feeling. Danger is real. Fear is not. Fear is what you feel. So you're fearful. What's the danger in it, though? Do it scared.
So let
Yeah,
me. So
I agree.
let's build on that, because we all have fears, right? I have a fear of
Mhm.
heights. I have a fear of heights. I'll get in a plane.
Spiders, bugs,
Oh,
insects. Yep. Mm-mm.
girl, listen.
Poverty.
I got a fear.
Oh.
I got a fear of heights.
Poverty.
I got a fear of anything with 2,
Say
3,
that.
4, 5 legs on it. I got a fear of anything that crawls.
Oop.
Listen, I will give up the house if I see something in it. Okay.
Look.
We decree and declare every spider and every bug is gone, destroyed,
Break
dismantled.
every chain.
Now
Break
I
every
have gotten
chain.
to the point. I keep a can of
Break
Raid upstairs,
every
downstairs. I will
chain.
not be lost again trying to find this dang on bug because I went to find something to kill it.
So we all have fears.
So
We can
I
my
agree.
bet
fear is
you,
bug.
I
I will
bet you
kill it
tear
and
up a
leave it
house
for him to
looking
pick
for
it
it.
up. When he said, "Babe, I left you a surprise in the kitchen."
I bet she flipped that table like Medea looking for that bug.
Absolutely. I'm hurt. I done broke bones, lost fingernails, lost 2 eyelashes, 3 edges. Girl, just
I bet you flip couches too, flip whole beds over.
I don't do bugs.
Oh man.
That's horrible.
So we all have
Smoky.
fears, but we also have a scripture in Second Timothy 1:7 that says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of
Fear.
love and a sound mind." And when we think about a sound mind, it's meaning confusion, panic, and fear, controlling every move. That is not how God wants us living. So I believe that when we have that moment of fear, and I think it is because y'all ain't gonna. I have a fear of heights. You ain't gonna see Lady G. What is that? Bungee jumping? No, I say, Lord, I trust
We'll
you.
use
Look,
zip line.
listen, my grandfather, deacon of the church, had a good saying. He would never walk me on the plane because he had a fear of planes. He'd never walk me on the plane. And I say, Granddaddy, why would you not? And I called him Papa. Papa, why you ain't walk me on the plane? He said, baby, I don't want to go on somebody else's time. So I'm not getting on that plane. So with that said, I do believe he trusted in God, but he just said he didn't want to go on somebody
No,
else's
let me
time.
tell you what that man said. That man
Yeah.
said, he said, I took a lesson from Jesus when he said, when Satan told Jesus to cast himself down, he said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. And he said, how am I going to let something take me higher than how Satan was trying to get Jesus up there to throw himself down? And you think I'm going to do, he said, if Jesus would not, who am I?
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Facts.
I can't.
If Jesus would not, who am I?
All I heard my pop say is if he'd only stayed on the plane and the rest of sinners, he wasn't going down because God was trying to take somebody else. No, I ain't going on somebody else's time.
You
I
don't
don't
believe he
blame
could
him.
save them?
I don't blame him.
Look,
I
they
don't
could
blame
also do like with the story with Jonah, because originally he was on the boat, and because he wasn't supposed to be on the boat, and God was mad, he was causing the storm, and when they threw him off the boat, all of a sudden the water's calm. So they just got to find who God is mad at, and y'all got to take them one at a time through the emergency exit.
Wow. But I don't blame Pop though.
So we have spoken about what is sabotage. We've given a few examples on what sabotage looks like. We've kind of also hinted towards why do we sabotage ourselves. And I think a lot of people, honestly, I think it's because we just sometimes don't fully believe in ourselves, and believe that we deserve what we prayed for. And I decree and declare that those that are looking at this episode, will know that they deserve everything that God has their name on. You deserve to live a great and fruitful life. I do not believe that anyone deserves to leave this life and not get the full joy of living. Are you living or are you existing?
Mm.
Don't self-sabotage yourself. Live. Live like you never lived before, and live without the opinions of people. The only one that matters, or the only ones that matter, is God the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Everybody else, it is what it is. And I also want to speak to the person. Don't be afraid of success. Don't be afraid of the blessings overflowing on your life. I wish I would have thought of it. It was this video, and I cannot recall the woman's name, but she's like, "Do you think I'm gonna apologize when God starts blessing me? No. If I got a good looking car, God did it. If I got a good look at a house, God did it. You got a problem, take it up with God. Let us stop self-sabotage, and let us take everything that has our name on it.
I feel like she
Real
said,
quick,
try
as
Jesus, don't try me.
don't try me.
That part.
She said,
Yeah,
dial
okay, yeah.
Jesus, don't dial me.
um, I guess another way that I would, this kind of goes to what Niecy was saying earlier. Faith versus fear. We talked about it, but there's somebody that says, I want to believe, but my fear is outweighing my belief. What would somebody encourage that person? Someone
Oh,
speak to
wait, I
that
have
person.
to enter. Well, I'm going to
Because
encourage
we
that person.
touched
And
on how we know that relationship with God would make things easier. They don't make them better. Life still happens, but he gives us his grace is sufficient. But what about that person that says, I believe, but my fear is outweighing my belief?
do you pray? You say,
I
Lord,
already
help my
said do
You
it.
unbelief.
already got the mustard
Lord, help
seed
my
and believing.
unbelief. Lord, help my unbelief. But
That
It's
I
too.
need
now
to,
action.
I need to,
Faith without work,
we really love
work
God.
without faith ain't working. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah.
Well,
So
here,
I'm sorry. I was
sorry.
over talking to Blessing. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I
Blessing.
think we doing it to each other.
That's what she said.
But I would personally, I was just
We
saying
both got
that
the word. We both got the word.
I was saying that work without faith, faith without work, as they say, is dead. The famous saying. So they already have the mustard seed of belief anyway. Now it's more so the action. This is what I'm learning personally as well as going through therapy. It's actions now. Because if you do believe in whatever you believe in, they can't, whatever you believe, whether you in church, believe in God or something else, it takes action now. You have to put the foot forward. So if you believe that you can, like, let's just say you got into an accident or something, if you can believe you can make it to the bathroom without your walker, you can. Turn your body around, get out the bed, get that strength up to at least stand up. Even if you can't make it, and let's say you got a nurse aide there. Okay, let's see how many steps can you take. Can you take one or two before you need your wheelchair? Hey, you at least take one or two steps. It's good that you set up on the bed. That's 1% better right there. 2% better, you stood up. 3% better, you actually took 2 steps. Okay, let's try it again. You got the belief that you can make it one day. Your goal is by the end of the week to make it to the bathroom, right? And this is a real reality that you see. You know, people are dealing with stuff like this. So the mustard seed is in them.
That's good. No, that's
That's
very good.
me landing my plane for whoever that person is, because you know, sometimes you got to meet people where they're at, you know. And a lot of people, I know they bring, you know, religion, faith, and all that, and you still need it no matter what. So I'm not disregarding that piece for those people, but sometimes you just got to be straight up with people, you know, and just talk to them just regular, you know, just have like a conversation, you know, kind of like networking, you know.
No,
That's
that's
how
good.
I think about it. That's just my opinion.
That's good. That's good. I also, we can end that question with I want to leave
Mm,
James 4:17 that says, if anyone knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is a sin for them. So that scripture is very convicting on different levels. But if you
Mm.
go into the study Bible and even study it deeper, it may help. It really may help. So this has been good.
oh, wait, no, I got something for y'all. Sorry, I got some. All right. So I want to challenge you even further. So you're saying that faith without works is dead. Yes, true. But you, whether or not you realize it, you're always putting your faith in something. You're either
Mhm.
putting faith in God or you're putting faith in your problem.
Mm,
So actually, whether or not you do, like, whether or not you feel like you're doing something or not, you're doing something, right? If you're working, you're working towards something, whether it is what you need or what you want or what you deserve, that depends on how you go about things. It's important. So, like the concept of value, this, right? This is without flame. This, if it's more empty, it's a cup. Without flame, it's a paperweight. But what is its true purpose?
All right.
What is its true purpose? So, okay, until I add the correct ingredients to it, the correct circumstances to it, I might think I know what it is, but I don't actually understand its purpose, what it was made for. And sometimes we just want to stay so safe. We want to stay so cool. We want to stay so good. I want to chill. I want it to feel good. I don't want to be hard. I don't wanna be challenged. I don't wanna be Daniel in the lion's den. I don't wanna be Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire that was so hot that it burned the man that put me in there, but God saw me through that. I don't wanna be any of those things. I don't wanna be any of those things. Like, it depends on what you're made of, though. You
Mm.
have to understand those things. You add fire, you add heat to this, right? This can go in a warmer. I have a warmer for it. I could put on the warmer. I could light it inside. Now, this could have gone about if I didn't have fire, right? Before they had fire, this could never serve its true purpose. It just existed, maybe it smelled good. I didn't know how to incorporate it into the room. Add fire to this. Now, add the warmth to this is different. Now it has an additional quality that I could not have experienced without adding that flame to it. I could have never understood it. I could have never enjoyed it because it was never refined.
Mhm.
But like I said, it depends on what you're made of. The
Yeah.
warmer, this whole thing is on the warmer. What happens to the glass? The glass remains. The container stays. It's there. By the time the wax burns out of it, it's still there. But now I can refill it. It can serve another purpose. It can do something else. Like, because also, I think people also, and it's something I'm learning in myself. I'm not there yet, but there are seasons. Things serve a different purpose at different time when you recycle things. Anyway, so, but if I'm this glass, I stay. If I'm the wax inside, you put me on the warmer over time, I burn out. I'm empty. So what are you made? What you're made of? All of those things matter. So you got to understand what you're made of. You got to understand your ideal conditions. You got to understand your purpose. And the thing about it is, you just don't know until you know, until you find yourself there, until God enlightens you, until you find your destiny helper, until you find someone with the right knowledge. This might have not been in English. This may have been in Mandarin. And I'm holding it and like I know it's a candle and I think I know what it's for. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like this. And someone who speaks Mandarin can read it, looks at it, it's like, oh, that's toxic. Don't like that. Like all these little things, there's so many different nuances to how things can go. And like a destiny helper is somebody who can come and realize and read this and realize it's dangerous. Like, cause like I said, cause if you don't like somebody and they're on a grease fire, add water to them.
Hmm.
But you gotta understand what the fire is.
Yep.
Mm.
You gotta understand what the fire is.
Yep.
Like, so what
That's
something can look
hard.
like something, but unless you know what's in it, what it's made of, because paint back in the day was paint, but what was in it? Lead.
Lead.
It
Yep.
was dangerous. It was toxic. It served a purpose, but until you understand what's inside, what it does, what things mean, how they affect you, it could be an allergen. I don't know. It's just so much to it, right? Some people like cilantro, so other people taste like soap. Like, there's so many little things. People try to make things so big and so mighty, but it comes out, oh, see, this was all about to be so broken. It comes out to so many different things in this lifetime. It comes down to understanding. So it's really about seeking wisdom and knowledge. And you also can't understand everything on your own. You need a community, you need a team, right? That's how all the big organizations do it. Johnson and Johnson, I'm telling you, that man don't know what lever to pull to get this thing full. But he surrounded himself with the right people and he continued to surround himself with the right people, and they came together and they all made something. One person themselves didn't just know how to do this. God has put so many things together in this lifetime for you. So nothing is an accident. Right? Everything is always working together for your highest good. Nothing is an accident. Someone had to discover soy. Someone has to discover fire. Someone has to discover heat. Someone has to discover the scent. And all of those people who discovered all those things, their knowledge had to come together to create even this. So.
Wow. Wow. That is a good way to.
I need to go back to school because I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. Okay, I need a master's degree.
Listen, no, that was good. That is a way to end the segment.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that I would add, that's right. The only thing I would add is to those listening, if someone says how to break the cycle, I would say be honest. First, be honest. Be aware. Awareness is necessary because if you're not aware that the problem needs to, what they say, the first step to recovery is admitting that there's a problem. Stop blaming everybody else. Sometimes it's not a tax, it's pattern. Um, Second, do the thing anyway. As Amber C told you, do it scared. Do it anyway because you can. Um, Even scared, even uncertain, there is a saying that take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. If you trust him and never doubt, you know he will bring you through the entire staircase. But take the first step. Feelings cannot always be led. Our feelings will get us in trouble all the time, most of the time. Don't be led by your feelings. Even if you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway. Um, and renew your mind. We have to renew our minds. I said this earlier to Niecy. I can't but think that the only way I can go through things and the way I know that this team can go through things is if you lean on God. Many of us are on morning prayer calls first thing in the morning. Why? Because we have to renew our minds and get the strength for the day. We can't do it without him. You can't do it without him. So be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because transformation starts internally first. People can dress up on the outside in the best looking clothes, but that inside, I heard something again, mental health awareness month, but I seen a post of someone that I was very shocked that they was in such deep depression that they thought about taking their life. I would have never looked at this person and thought that. And now she just had a birthday. I think her birthday was yesterday. And she said, I'm so grateful that I didn't let my mind take over, the depression take over. And you know what saved her? It's because she called the hotline for suicide. And the person that picked up the phone, it was the first words that they said that she remembers to this day, saying, it's going to get better. Hold on. And now she's got to see another birthday. It is the transforming of your mind. If you feel you don't deserve it, tell yourself you do. Be like Michael Jackson in the song, look at the man in the mirror. Speak life. Speak affirmations. Put stickies up. I deserve this. I'm worthy. I am more than a conqueror. I am the head and not the tail. I am a lender and not a borrower. Speak life on yourself. Speak life to yourself. We've all had moments that we realize that, oh, wow, am I standing in my own way? Well, let this be the moment that we get out of our way. It's a very humbling experience. It's a freeing experience because if you can identify the pattern, you can break the cycle. And
Mm-hmm.
we definitely want to break the cycle. So we want to leave y'all with this question. When in your life are your actions not matching your prayers? Because I'm telling you, prayers work. And be honest with yourself. When is your actions not matching your prayer? And what do you have to do to change? This has been a great episode. I don't even think we can get everything
I
that
got
we.
2 things for you. I'm so sorry I gotta interrupt you. So one, it has to be a series. This has to be a series.
Wow,
I don't think it's not one and done. Maybe it'll be 2, but it's not 1.
I like that. I like that.
Like a
So
10-part series, like that lady on TikTok that did like 25 parts or 50 parts.
maybe. But I tell you, it's not 1, might be 2, might be 10, might be 20. She over here saying it, and I'm like, she's like, you gotta get out your way. I'm over here like, move, get out the way, get out the way, get out the
Yeah,
way. Move,
She's singing a nice version.
get out the way, get out the way.
That's a good song though.
God can open the door, but you still have to walk. And I think a lot of people miss out on their blessings because they did not walk through it. How long? Maybe that'll be the next segment to this, the part of the series.
Mm-hmm.
How long will God keep the door open waiting for you to walk through? Because you are sabotaging your own self. I hope that everyone that's listening will share this episode.
No, they're gonna block you.
What did you say, Blessing?
No, they're gonna block you because you in their business.
I'm
You in
in
people's business. You in somebody's business. You
My
all up in their
business, my
business. They said,
business.
come about my business. They said, move, Lady G. Get out my
Waiting to play
way. Get out my way. Get out
this
my
the after
way.
work vibes.
I'm going to stay in your business because I
You done knock
believe
somebody wig off.
generational curses will be broken, bonds will be broken, and healing will take place. This is another episode of Sugar, Honey, and Spice with Lady G. Make sure you like it,
Edges will be
comment,
snatched.
and subscribe. Share this with somebody who needed this conversation or replay it for yourself because I know I will. I'll be replaying it because I too can self-sabotage and I want to make sure that I am not doing anything other than what God would have me to do. And I know that my co-hosts feel the same way. So y'all will catch the next episode. But in the meantime, go have a great night on purpose. And remember, the best is yet to come. Just don't self-sabotage it. Good night, everybody.
And remember, only you can stop forest fires. And this segment was brought to you by Smokey the Bear.
That is
That
true.
was real cool.
And 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left. Be blessed.
And then you keep playing with me, you're gonna want to pray with me because
Smokey!
it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Smokey!
We working on some stuff inside.
Smokey!
Mm-hmm. In God we trust. Everybody else pays. Okay.
On that note,
All right.
bye-bye.
The Lord saved me. The Lord saved me.
Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Turn the water me into watch me. Every time you tune